we've had a chance to talk with him, and he shared something a little bit different that you had shared with him. Can you tell me a little more about that part of it, though?
What did he say?
Well, he told us something slightly different, and I suspect you might know what he said differently.
This is Jacob Spray. He's 37 years old, and just a few minutes into his conversation with the police, he realizes something terrifying. His 25-year-old fiancée, Jamie Wilson, has gone completely missing. On March 26, 2024, she vanished without a trace. The police launch a desperate search, hoping to find her alive. But will they succeed? It all starts with a strange 911 call. Jamie's new employer had called for a welfare check because during a phone interview, they suddenly heard a disturbing scream, and then the line went dead. Later that same day, after further investigation, police made a tragic discovery. Jamie's body was found in a mobile home near the trailer park where she lived. There were clear signs of a violent struggle. She had bruises around her left eye, chin, and nose, cuts on the bridge of her nose and the side of her lips, and severe bruising, and trauma around her neck. Jamie had been brutally murdered. She was just months away from earning her master's degree in organizational management and leadership from Washington State University. At the same time, she worked as an executive chef. Everyone who knew her described her as focused, driven, and incredibly hardworking. But in an instant, her life was taken in the middle of her 20s. The first people police talked to were Jamie's family and close contacts. By around 8 p.m., Pullman police arrived at Jacob's home, hoping to learn more from the man who knew her best.
You don't have any weapons on you, do you?
Nothing. Well, I have like a pocket knife, but
Okay, can you keep it in there for me?
yeah, I'm not doing
6, 7
nothing.
around.
We talked before. We talked the road rage thing. Some guy was messing with your age.
Yeah, making fun of my list.
Yeah.
The officer and Jacob had actually met before during a previous road rage incident. But today, things were much more serious than that.
But what's going on with Jamie? I need to seriously know because you guys got me freaking the out because you called me. I was just getting off work and now I can't get a hold of her. I called her sister and she won't answer my call. All she said was, I can't talk to you right now. And I'm just like literally in tears, freaking the out, and I just don't know what's going on. We're still married. We're filing this Friday, but we've been separated since February 14th. I just gave her like $1,000 so she could, because she was like wanting to move out of state.
The officers, calm and careful, guide the conversation without raising suspicion. They say they just want to understand what happened to Jamie, since no one has heard from her. Jacob claims he actually spoke to Jamie earlier that same day.
So you talked to her at 351, but you haven't seen her today?
No, we don't really like cross paths. It's been kind of that thing.
Gotcha. When
What the hell is going on?
we're trying to get a hold of her. I guess you must be.
Was she like arrested? What's
No,
like?
no. Not arrested. Just, we're trying to locate her or whatnot, and someone was concerned about her. So I haven't heard from her. I'm trying to figure out what's going on. Can you?
She's got like a group of new friends. Pagana. My phone would help me better. But you said the truck was there, and you said you heard the phone. So she doesn't really leave.
Gotcha.
She can't leave home without either one, really. So what the man? What are you trying to tell me right now?
I'm not telling you anything right now. I'm just kind of trying to figure out what's going on so I can give the officers there. So I just got here. They just said, "Hey, can you come talk?" Talk to.
She did hook up with a girl in that trailer park. We lived there like over the summer. This last summer, not like, and there was a girl that she used to hook up with. So, and it was like a struggle in our marriage, but she was always like kind of bi. So like, I mean, honestly, I know it's stupid to think, but it's better than somebody else. Like some dude. Like, it's like,
So I'm just trying to figure out what happened today.
With a bit of attention, you can clearly see the stress all over Jacob's body language. He looks confused, over-explains things, his voice trembles, and he's doing everything he can to hide how anxious he really is. Jacob and Jamie had broken up a while ago, right around Valentine's Day, but according to Jacob, things between them were still good. He says he still cared about her and even loved her.
So I'm just trying to figure out what happened today. What did she send you, or what was the conversation at and you said 3:51, is that in this afternoon?
It was this afternoon.
Okay, what was the conversation then?
We were just talking. Like,
Gotcha.
we were just, I had sent her a thing about that song. It's a real popular song right now. Don't Take Her From Me. Like God can give it, God can take it.
Gotcha.
And I said, this song will always haunt me.
You said that today?
Yeah.
Gotcha. And then, so
we're still like cordial.
Yeah.
Like we're still chill. Like I did call the police on her one time because she had threatened me with domestic violence. Like she was like gonna stage it.
Oh, gotcha.
And so she had like showed up here to like, she said to get her dog, but it was the same day that she had like threatened me with DV, and she showed up and I called the police, and then she got all mad at me for that.
Jacob claims that things were always fine between them, even after the breakup. Then he brings up an argument they had, but quickly adds that everything calmed down afterward and was under control. The officers stay calm and focused. They slowly build pressure, using Jacob's own anxiety against him. They're trying to break through his shaky mental wall and get the truth out, so they ask him to walk them through a detailed timeline of his day.
And you said when you received those messages, where were you at?
I was in Moscow.
Gotcha. When did you come back to Pullman?
6, maybe 6:30. Dinner goes out at 6, so.
And you say you work at a restaurant or something like that, right?
Sorority.
Oh, sure.
I cook for a
service,
sorority.
though, right? Yeah.
Yeah. But dinner goes out at 6, so I mean, it usually takes me a few minutes after that to like kind of wipe down counters, get everything going. I don't know. I usually get back here about 6:30.
And did you drive back straight here from the sorority?
I stopped at Hootmart.
Okay.
Got the drink.
Gotcha.
She hasn't responded to me since you got a hold of me because, like I said, I hadn't talked to her.
And, when did the officer get a hold of you?
I'd have to look at my phone, but he called me and I was still working.
Gotcha.
And,
So before 6.
Yeah. And so it went to silent. I had my headphones in.
Oh.
I'm working. I didn't know who Coy was. So I'm like, whatever. He left me a voicemail. So when I got off, once I got home, I think I was like pulling in. I actually called him back, or I checked the voicemail.
Oh, what you got home?
I think so.
Okay.
I might have called him when I was still in the parking lot, but I feel like I called him when I got here.
Gotcha.
Because I was just like curious. I'm like, who is this person? And he was like, you got keys to that trailer? So I was just like, the one my wife's in? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, no, we agreed I wouldn't have any. She's got the set of keys, and I have a set down in Lewiston. Mm-hmm. And I offered to, because he was like, well, we need to get in there. There was a disturbance, like a checking on the peace. And that was all I ever heard. And then I think you called me, or somebody called me and said, I can hear her phone ringing in there. And so now I'm worried because she was supposed to fix the propane thingy, like the propane reader. Mm-hmm. It had broke, and so I was thinking maybe she got like carbon monoxide poisoning, but also I know she's been hanging out with people, so I don't know like if she's like done some bad blow or something.
As the conversation continues, the officers carefully go over every part of Jacob's story. They're checking to see if anything in his timeline doesn't add up. They ask the same things in different ways, circling back more than once. Jacob starts to feel the pressure and reacts with small bursts of frustration. What began as a simple chat has now turned into a cat-and-mouse game, a psychological battle. And then the officer asks a question designed to trap Jacob, just in case he hasn't been completely honest.
What kind of phone is that?
Samsung.
You have it inside? That's the one you're talking about, it's charging?
Yeah.
The last you heard from us, and you've been here,
Correct.
They asked you about the keys, and you've been here since that time until they started. Did you text the officer or something like that? Like what's going on?
I texted him, and then I also been texting and calling Jamie.
Jacob, clearly shaken, asks the same question that's been running through his mind again.
Are you gonna like ever tell me what's going on with my life?
This time, for the first time, the officer finally gives him an answer.
The concern is that we found her at the trailer, and she's not doing well, and the medics are trying to help her. We're just trying to figure out what is going on and what happened to her and what's going on.
The murder took place inside the trailer park. When asked about the last time he was there and whether he saw the victim, Jacob claims he met her outside the trailer park, not inside. Now, the officer brings up a previous altercation between Jacob and Jamie. An incident that happened about a year ago where Jacob had also shown signs of violent behavior.
Last night, everything was cool? You guys weren't fighting or anything like that?
No, everything was fine. And we were fine today too. Everything was fine.
Gotcha.
Like, I literally texted her. I said I got the confirmation on our divorce paperwork. So, like, I'll go pay that on Friday. So we're all good. And she's like, do I need to be there? I said, no. Like, it just sounds to me like I just have to go and show him the stupid email. And we're good. She told me she loved me. I said, you promise? She said, yes. Like, I'm sorry, I'm kind of needy. Like, I still love her, even though she left me. Like, I'm still, like, I've told her numerous times, like, we can't go back. But honestly, if she were to be like, I'll take you back, I'd go back.
Gotcha.
Another thing Jacob has to explain is the nature of their breakup. So far, he's insisted there was no hate or hard feelings, that they were always cool with each other, even after they split up.
As far as the split goes, you're describing it as fairly amicable?
Yeah, no, I have papers in my car. I don't want it.
Sure.
But she wants it. I love her. We'll do it. Do I, like I said earlier, if she were to be like, take me back, I would do it in a heartbeat, even though it's like throwing my whole dignity and everything away. But, no. Like, she was telling me today, she was saying that $1,000 I gave her, she's like, I think I'm going to use it and go to California.
Like, she was like, move to California or just visit?
So she said she was going to move to Spokane and stay with Danny. And then her and Danny were going to go to California. He's like a California native. He's like a rich boy.
Gotcha.
And he's gay, so. I really wasn't worried about it. I'm like, yeah, go be roommates with Danny. Yeah, that's what she was talking about today when we were chatting.
According to Jacob, Jamie told him she needed more space and time to think. She wanted a little distance, and sometimes she wouldn't tell him everything that was going on. Even though he didn't like it, he says he respected her wishes and tried to give her the space she asked for. He also mentions that his family didn't have a great relationship with Jamie. They didn't really like her that much.
I had texted her and I go, hey, you mind if I come by your work? I got something for you. She goes, well, can we meet outside? I go, yeah, that's fine. So she hops in my car and I'm like, hey, flowers, happy Valentine's Day, love you. And she goes, I want a divorce. And I was just like, I did not see that coming.
So nothing was going bad before that?
No.
Just
like,
normal...
she said, so as we've talked over this last 6.5 weeks, she's like, I felt it for a while. I just didn't know, like, if I was ready for it, and I didn't want to make a mistake. So I had to make sure I was sure, you know. Mm-hmm. And I get that. I understand it. It was a shock to me, and, you know, terrible news to me.
Sure.
But, and I didn't do well. You know, I threatened to kill myself, and I was like, I would never, but, you know, try to pull that, like, sympathy card.
What did you tell her when that happened?
What did I...
Like about suicide? Did you tell her that? Like I was...
Yeah.
This explanation doesn't really add up. Jacob claims that even though Jamie's decision crushed him inside, he accepted it. He even admits to threatening to take his own life, but says he never truly meant it. According to him, it was just a desperate reaction to the heartbreak and hopelessness he felt. The conversation between the officer and Jacob slowly turns into a mental standoff.
You're not giving me any information. All you're doing is questioning me, and now I'm starting to worry.
Both of them start holding back. Avoiding giving too much away, the officer pretends he doesn't know much and keeps the tone calm, trying not to spook Jacob. Earlier that day, before the officers arrived, Jacob had also spoken with his father on the phone. Apparently, that call included some important details, and the police already knew about it. Now, the officer brings it up and starts questioning Jacob about what was said during that call.
Gotcha. And what did he say when you got off the phone with him?
We cut out.
Okay.
I don't think he could hear me. And I was trying to talk to him, and yeah, it was just cutting out. And then it just clicked out, and then that was it.
Okay. What was it you said you told him again?
Said the cops called about Jamie,
Yeah.
and I can't get a hold of her.
Okay.
I said, would you call her?
Uh-huh.
But I don't think he heard me because...
Now the police play their trump card. Turns out they had already spoken to Jacob's father, and they'd heard his version of the story, a version that clearly doesn't match what Jacob has been saying.
So that, we had a chance to talk with him, and he shared something a little bit different that you had shared with him. Can you tell me a little bit more about that part of it, though?
What did he say?
Well, he told us something slightly different, and I suspect you might know what he said differently.
I got this on. Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Get on the ground! Don't you grab it! Oh, me! Me! That's me! Stop! Okay. Oh, man, I'm done. You're under the arrest. I'm done. Okay. I'm done. Okay. I got left arm pinned. Dude, I'm done. I'm done. Your back. I will do whatever you say. Let go. Rock. Yes. Roll out so we can go prone. Dude, I'm done. I'm going to give you another one if I think you're doing something. I'm not doing nothing. Hello?
Everything Jacob tried so hard to hide was already out. During their earlier conversation with Randy, Jacob's father, police had learned the truth. Jacob had confessed over the phone exactly what he did to his partner. The officer had spent this entire interview pushing Jacob into a corner, hoping to force a confession. Prosecutors painted a heartbreaking picture of what happened. On March 26th, Jamie woke up early. She was a little nervous that day. She had an important job interview with her boss about a potential promotion. By the middle of the interview, she was confident and in control, ready for anything, until Jacob forced his way in. A violent confrontation followed. He attacked Jamie during the call and eventually, with his bare hands, strangled her to death. Her boss heard it all. Her pleading, the sound of the struggle, and then complete silence. This wasn't just a moment of rage. Jacob had been controlling Jamie for a long time. He monitored her messages, installed cameras around the house, and showed increasingly violent behavior. The night before the murder, Jacob had found out Jamie had spent the evening with another man. That was the breaking point. Jacob's jealousy, control issues, and possessiveness all exploded in one horrifying act. Jamie's lifeless body was found around 7 p.m., far too late to save her. In court, Jacob's father, Randy, testified against his own son, confirming the details of the phone call in which Jacob admitted what he had done. Though Jacob initially denied everything, he eventually confessed. He apologized to both families, but the judge said there was no sign of true remorse. After 4 hours of jury deliberation, Jacob Spray was found guilty of first-degree murder and sentenced to 26 years in prison.